Hola, me llamo Grace, soy de Pittsburgh, trabajo en el banco, tomo 4 clases este semestre, a mí me gusta la clase de literatura. Estoy en la casa de mi madre, ella cocina muy bien. Mis amigas y yo estudiamos en la biblioteca, tomo agua, me gusta agua. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31. 10 más 13 son 29. 32 menos 15 son 17. Mi número de teléfono es 903-305-2832. Me gusta la música pop porque suena bien. The difference between usted and tu is that usted, well, they both mean you, but usted is used when you're talking to a person in authority, like a teacher or a police officer, an elderly person, but tu is used when it's more familiar, if you're talking to a friend or a family member or something like that. In English, there really isn't this kind of distinction between the word you. There is thou, which is a different form of you, but it's not really used in common English today. It's more used in older English. You might see it in old literature, but it's just not really used commonly anymore. To form questions in Spanish and English is pretty similar. In both languages, you can add an inflection at the end, and that lets the person you're speaking to know that you're asking a question. You can also start the question with a question word like how or what or which, who, that kind of thing. Something that's different though is that in Spanish you can switch the order of the subject and the verb, but in English almost always the subject comes before the verb. And then the last question, so AR verbs, depending on the subject, who you're talking to, the ending changes. So you drop the AR and you replace it with, if it's yo, then it's o. Tú is as, usted, él, and ella is a. Nosotros is amos, and ustedes, ellos, and ellas is an. So if it's a singular, I, you, or usted, the other form of you, he or she, then it's either o, as, or a. And if it's plural, such as we or they, or ustedes, you plural, then it's amos or an. So depending on how you're using the sentence, who you're talking to, who you're addressing, the subject, that is how you conjugate the AR verbs. Gracias.